Turn off the lights, close the blinds, and adjust your tinfoil hats. It's time for Alien Addictions with your host, Alienphotog.
What is up, Space Chickens? It's your friend Alienphotog back with another new episode, finally, of Alien Addictions, the radio show. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope everybody's well. I'm doing pretty good myself. I'm thrilled to be back on the air with the Alien Addictions radio show. And real briefly to the new listeners that I'm sure we have some of this week, let me tell you who I am. I go by the alias Alienphotog. No, that's not my actual real legal name yet. I'm thinking about changing it, but my wife doesn't want her actual last name to change to Photog, so it's causing some problems in the marriage, but I think we're going to work it out. Anyway, I'm an alien abductee, and my experiences go back into my childhood. They started entirely at the age of 8. Those were the first memories I have of abductions or seeing UFOs personally. They got incredibly intense about 1.5 years, 2 years ago. And at that point, I began seeing UFOs absolutely everywhere, started taking videos of them, and eventually started speaking about my abduction experiences. As it became important to me to talk to other abductees or other people who are interested in the subject, so we can kind of band together and use each other for support, and quite frankly, it's something that a lot of people find fascinating. And let me tell you, as somebody who's gone through it myself, fascinating isn't quite the word for it. I often equate it to the rabbit hole in the story Alice in Wonderland. I have a lot of people writing me saying, up is down, black is white, I have no clue what's going on. Yeah, well, welcome to the rabbit hole. And it is my opinion that the awakening process is what that story is about, Alice in Wonderland. And the rabbit hole is this limbo time that we spend in God knows where. The rabbit hole is a good word for it, where nothing seems to make sense. So anyway, the show has been off the air for about a month or so now, and it's been kind of spotty off and on for it's been 7 or 8 months now. And the reason for that has been, and first off, my sincere apologies for it, the reason for it has been my family and I were hit head on in a car accident, and I nearly died. I was in a coma for 3 weeks. And blah, blah, blah. Talk about something that I am freaking entirely sick of talking about. But that's the reason why the show's been off for a little bit. But we're now officially back every week here on Party 93.4. And, of course, you can listen online live every week, www.party934.com. The time for the show every week is early Saturday morning where it airs in New York. That's Eastern Time. It starts at 1 a.m. and goes till 3 a.m. In other parts of the U.S., it's late Friday night. We're fortunate enough to have an international audience. So if you go to our webpage, www.alienaddictions.com, and click on the little radio show tab there, we have a list of when it's on and what places, and then a little link to a world clock, too, so you can do the math and figure out when to come listen live. But anyway, we'll be on every week again live starting right now, which is absolutely awesome. And I want to take a second to thank the guys at Party 93.4 for being patient with me while I was healing, and for having me on, letting me air my piece publicly on their platform. So thank you very much to them. And coming up on tonight's show, we always start with the Alien News with our Alien News host, Bob McAlien, who is, he's kind of a prick, veteran news guy with a mustache. He's a hybrid, of course, so you can picture him, I'm sure. Anyway, he and I will bring you the Alien News coming up next year. And some really interesting news came out this last week about the pyramids and what someone with fairly lofty credentials at the University of Cairo in Egypt says is inside them. We're also going to take some questions from the Space Chickens, which is what I call the group of listeners who come to the show and come to the website. Where that came from is beyond me. It just sort of came out one day and stuck. So we'll be taking questions from the listeners, the Space Chickens. And, of course, I'll yap some about my experiences and tell you what it was like for me in some different scenarios that I went through as an alien abductee and still go through today. And going back to the pyramids real quick, we're going to also spend a little bit of time talking about the pyramids. There's this theory out there that these things were built with trees used as rollers to roll these enormous rocks up these ramps to build these perfect pyramids that just so happen to fall in the exact center of the Earth's landmass, among other bizarre facts about the pyramids. And we're going to talk a little bit about, I'm going to say what I think the pyramids are all about, the little bit I know about them. And we had a great discussion at the website this last week about the pyramids. And we get kind of both sides of the website. We get a lot of people who are true believers, but we have certainly some hardline skeptics, too, who brought their take on it. So we'll bring up some of that, and I'll throw in what they had to say as well, too, so we can get all sides of it. But some fascinating information about the pyramids. I checked out a book on them. It was, 3-4 weeks ago, and my brain about exploded when I read through all the numbers and how they correlate with Earth's measurements and blah, 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 so on, so on. So we'll get to that. We'll talk about the pyramids a little bit. And we're also going to talk to our good friend Alienphotog Dog, who's my dog. He has just turned 2 recently, within the last couple weeks, which is, of course, 14 in dog years, so he's a real smartass now. And he has been a little freaking hellion for the last 2 years. I don't know what the heck his deal is. But anyway, we're going to let him come in and talk to you guys, too. Good old Alienphotog Dog. And I'm sure he'll have some amazing insight on something or another from Dog World. All right, everybody, and if you're listening online, if you happen to be near a computer while you're listening to this, go check out our website. I set this up about a year ago and have gotten a tremendous response, and it's a really cool crowd there. Well, I don't know if I'd say we're quote-unquote cool. We yap about aliens a lot, so I don't know if that's cool or not. I just invented cool. I haven't really kept up with it since. Anyway, go check out the website, www.alienaddictions.com. If you want to talk to me, if you're an abductee or just curious about alien-y type questions, it's a great place to go ask. We have a wonderful forum there, a chat room. You can upload videos. And not only can you catch up with me there, but we have a ton of users. It's well over 500 now. And all of them are very interested in this, and many of them have dedicated a lot of their time to the subject, whether studying it or having gone through these experiences personally. We've got a lot of abductees there, a lot of UFO witnesses. So it's a fun place to go, www.alienaddictions.com. If you go there, it's free to sign up. Go ahead and sign up. You can pick out your username. It's kind of like, the best way to think of it is like Facebook, basically, except for alien fans. It's a little social networking site. But you get your little own My Page you can design and pick your own username and all that crap. Go check it out. All right, everybody, I'm Alienphotog. You're listening to Alien Addictions on Party 93.4 and www.party934.com. After some great music, we'll be right back with the alien news. This song from the Foo Fighters called The Pretender, and if you listen close, you'll notice the theme in many of these songs is quite alien-y. The band name, The Foo Fighters, is a dead giveaway. Anyway, The Pretender by the Foo Fighters. We'll be right back.
Buckle up, Space Chickens. It's time for the Alien News.
Hello, Space Chickens. It is I, Bob McAlien. It's been a while since I've talked to you, but coming up this week, we've got very interesting alien news, actually. Some remarkable stories coming up. All right, Bob. Good to hear from you again. Good to see you, friend. Everything going okay? He's shaking his head no. I don't really care. All right, a really interesting story actually came out in... I would call it real news, but that makes it sound like propaganda. But something that actually happened mainstream this last week. On November 28th, this happened. In a shock statement, head of Cairo University's archaeology department, Dr. Ala Sahahin, God, I hope I pronounced that right, has told the audience that there might be truth to the theory that aliens helped the ancient Egyptians build the oldest of all pyramids, the Pyramids of Giza. Upon being further questioned by Mr. Marek Nowak, a delegate from Poland, as to whether the pyramids might still contain alien technology or even a UFO within its structure, Dr. Sahin was vague and replied, "I cannot confirm or deny this, but there is something inside the pyramids that is not of this world." Delegates to the conference on ancient Egyptian architecture were left shocked. However, Dr. Sahin had refused to comment further or elaborate on his UFO or alien-related statements. The Great Pyramid is believed to have been built over a 20-year span. The pyramid is so huge and perfect that we wouldn't be able to construct something like this in our days that would come anywhere close to compare it. Each giant stone ranges from 1 to 20 tons in weight, and the Great Pyramid consisted of well over 100,000 stones. But the Egyptians had no machinery, engines, or construction equipment. So the question still stands, who built the Great Pyramids?